Yes, boys. Second YouTube video going down. The first one went down superbly, so appreciate that. Didn't think it would get anywhere as near as much support as that, but here we are. So full day of eating going down today. Training day. We have got legs later on. Well, basically, I'll try not to do too much with the session and just keep it on the food. I might go out for a coffee later as well after this meal, before I go and walk Milo. Get caffeinated for the steps, get that heart rate going. Hashtag easy fat loss. So yeah, meal one. When I wake up, first thing I do is nail one of these. This is 800 mils. Well, I don't nail it, but I get it down me. And then I go shower. So basically, I got this in the Greek airport, and it's a glass bottle. It's pretty cool. So yeah, do that. Go shower. I'll have put my rice in the rice cooker. Over here. Can I swap this? There we go. Rice in the rice cooker, ready for meal 2, pre-workout. When I'm not in work, is this tracking me? It's not tracking me. There we go. Yeah, when I'm not in work, I'll normally train after 2 meals. I do just find that is best. Just gives me time to do a bit of work in the mornings. Take anything I need to do off, like whether that's clearing WhatsApp, couple like client updates, setups, inquiry responses, and then I can head into the gym. But it does mean I'm not taking pre though, because I'm keeping caffeine quite low now. Like yesterday, only had a monster for the entire day, so that's like 150 milligrams. That is like fuck all. So I am starving. I haven't eaten since 8:30 last night. In work till 10:30, and I finished my meals early. So yeah, the vacuums are very tight at the minute. So meal 1, we have 40 grams of whey. I will make this into a whey paste, and then it is mix 2 grams of salt in there and 10 grams of dark chocolate on the side, and then I make this into a whey paste with 100 grams of raspberry. So this is a very good meal. Whenever people are making like protein fat meal ones, I don't know how they do like eggs and egg whites. I'd much prefer this, even though I try to like limit my whey intake per day to like 2 meals. It's sort of a waste because I don't have like any cream of rice in my diet at the minute, which is kind of annoying, because I do like cream of rice, but I think it's worth it because this meal is so good. So next clip, I'll have this made up, because I'm sure you don't want me showing you how to make a whey paste at this day and age. And here we have it. There we go. That should be in shot. I actually love this meal. It's small, but I've also like sort of realized I'm just sort of thankful for like the smaller meals. It might be weird like not being full after a meal, and you're sort of like, oh, I wish there was more to that. I wish I was having like egg sourdough and stuff. But I sort of just look at the bright side, and it's like my midsection's so tight after this. Well, as tight as you can get for a rice pudding. There's not many abs there, but like tight as in not bloated after this, so it does feel great. And then it sets me up well for my pre-workout meal. Like I can have that like 2 hours on the dot, even earlier, but just for the sake of meal timings, I'll wait that 2 hours. So yeah, gonna get this into me. I don't actually watch YouTube or like Netflix or anything with this first meal, since it only takes like 3-4 minutes to eat. I sort of just sit outside most mornings with like Milo and just be like just at peace with everything. A bit of mindfulness practice, boys. Never hurt anyone. So yeah, get this into me, and looking like I'm gonna head for a coffee. So see you at Cafe Nero. Yes, boys, joining me in the studio, the study room for meal 2. So I'll actually show you here, that might be a good idea. So obviously you're not coming to my channel to come for aesthetics. You're set up for failure there. If that's what you're clicking on this video for. Yeah, so here we have 140 grams raw weight chicken breast. I cook all my rice at once in the morning, and then I don't weigh it out. I just like estimate, like I do it in thirds, so it's 340 grams raw weight rice, jasmine rice for the day in the rice cooker. So what would that be divided by 3? 113 grams raw weight rice. Yeah, I think that's right. So that 150 banana, 15 almond butter, and 100 beetroot. Beetroot pre-workout, nitric oxide, nitrate content. Improve the blood flow. I think Milo's looking in. Milo is indeed coming in. Yeah, get a bit of vasodilation. The vasodilation benefits pre-workout. Same with your dark chocolate and stuff. That's why you would put dark chocolate and beetroot in your pre-workout meal specifically. And like, they're good in any meal, but they do have like specifically good application in the pre-meal. You know, you've got fruit source here, fructose with the banana, gonna help uptake the carbs from the rice. You know, if you mix like glucose and fructose in the meals, there is some like literature to support the like uptake of those carbs. Protein source, obviously, and yeah, just a pretty balanced meal. Fat source as well, so blood sugars don't drop too much while I'm at the gym and I go hypo, but I'm too fat to go hypo realistically. So the almond butter is really just in for healthy fats and taste. I do run this meal 3 times on a training day just out of ease, so you'll be seeing this meal an awful lot. And yeah, it's just good. Like, I think keeping the savoury meals in, instead of just automatically going for your cream of rices and oats and Ninja Creamies, is a good idea. I think it keeps food focus a bit down, because when it's coming up to this meal, I'm not like absolutely drooling at the mouth, like, oh my word, like a bowl of oats is coming up. I'm just like, I mean, it's chicken, rice, banana, bit of almond butter, and try it if you have banana with the chicken and rice combo. Goes hard. Maybe not the beetroot, that might be hard for some people to accept, but if you think chicken and rice are just like neutral flavours, and the banana's sweet, so it just makes it lovely. So yeah, very good meal. Always good macros on it, and you can obviously apply it to whatever phase you're in, just by reducing the amounts of like rice. I would always upkeep like the amount of banana in this meal. I would pull rice away first, just to keep micronutrients, like micronutrient intake intact during a diet. You know, you don't want to be pulling yourself down to like 50 grams of banana but keeping like 100 grams of rice in, because the micronutrient content of the banana compared to the rice, there's a big disparity there, and you're probably just going to run into problems with just your general health if you start focusing on your shitty carb sources like rice, because it really isn't doing much for you in the grand scheme of things, other than a carbohydrate source. So yeah, gonna get this into me, leave for the gym approximately half an hour, 45 minutes, and yeah, I might record a little clip there and run you through the session. Might record hacks as well, because that's the big set from today. Maybe stiff legs as well. Bit of bonus training content for you in this, and then we will be back for the post-workout meal. What's up, guys? Just sitting on the floor of the gym here, like proper sitting. By sitting I mean lying. Just done the first set of hacks and was dealing with a wee bit of a lower back niggle after RDLs on Monday. Well, one set of RDLs, and yeah, I think the lower back has just left the chat, which isn't ideal, but figured I'd jump back on the camp, the DGI, record my intro. We've got 12 grams of CNP loaded EAs, strawberry laces, good flavour, would recommend. Taste test. Yep, tasted like it did. the last mouthful I took 20 seconds before I started this. For pre, I had that double espresso and a serving of Mega Pump Raspberry Twist. Ass flavour. Wouldn't be getting it, boys. Wouldn't be getting Mega Pump in general. Don't rate it. Go for like your Nova Farm, Nova Pump, or Superhuman Pump is good. But yeah, four plates aside and a 2.5 aside on the hack for 6. And lower back went on like the 4th rep, but you know, you have to see it through, take the progressions, match the set with the extra 0.75 aside. I probably shouldn't have done that. Wee bit cooked. Hopefully if I give the back 5-10 minutes, it'll feel a little better and I'll get my back offset in. Just more so stiff legs I'm worried about. I don't think I'll be able to do today, which is annoying. Haven't had to cut a session short due to injury in a long time. But yeah, maybe you'll live to see, maybe my lower back will live to see the stiff leg set, and you will get to see it in the YouTube video. Then again, might need to call this earlier, just match quad volume with a few leg extension sets. There's nothing I can even really do to load my posterior without loading my lower back, so we're in a bit of a sticky one still with that. Yes lads, so back from the gym, joining me in the kitchen for meal 2. So big surprise, if I drag this down, voila, we've got the exact same as the pre-workout meal. 140 raw weight chicken, you know, what did we say, like 113 raw weight rice, 150 banana, and the only, like 15 nut butter as well, and the only change up is different veg. So yeah, starting to realise that the full day of eating on a training day isn't the most exciting thing, considering I have one more meal of this exact thing, but there's a slight change up. For the final meal, we've got some eggs and sourdough. But yeah, not an ideal session. You'll have seen the clip I recorded while I was just lying, trying to get a bit of lower back recovery so I could get a bit more work in. You know, pretty annoying. Because especially not being able to do stiff legs. Like, because that is like my favourite movement, really. It's the one I'd probably get most up for. The hack would be up there, like, but stiff legs is a big one. You know, your hip hinge patterns are like just up there in general for like what you want to be doing in the gym. What's going to change your physique, but like I'm making it out to be worse than it actually was. I equated volume, so basically couldn't do stiff leg and I couldn't do the back off on the hack. So extra set on the Gym Leco hip press. You'll have seen that before if you follow my Instagram. Shameless plug, Jake Byers __. I think that's what it is. Couldn't tell you, to be honest. But yeah, extra set on there. So that's quads volume equated. And then to equate the missing SLDL set, I went for an extra set of the glute drive, knotless glute drive. Took 5.5 plates for a back off there, so that's glutes ticked off, and then an extra set of lion hammy curls. So honestly, you could argue more stimulus for both those muscle groups because they're each getting an isolation movement, so they're the prime mover in those movements, but I don't really care about more stimulus. I wanted to stiff leg, but yeah, missing out on just a little bit of erector work. So, you know, it's nothing to cry about. I can like actually bend over now. That sounds very sus, not like that, but my back isn't in that bad of shape where I can't stand up or anything. It does seem pretty sound, but it will probably be bed rotting protocol today. Watch a movie. Currently rewatching Vinland Saga. Actually, it's going very well. I didn't think it was actually this good on the first watch, but I'm absolutely loving it now. So I'll probably finish up season 1 of that, stick on a movie, find a good comedy movie or something, cheer me up about my my injury. Like it feels really weird, like saying potentially I'm injured, because in that whole like 19 months in a surplus, I had one injury, and it wasn't even gym related. I went to Amsterdam, went ice skating, broke my ankle, so like it wasn't even anything to do with training. But yeah, it's just a little bump in the road, really. I'm generally pretty confident it will be sound, like it never even happened this time next week. So yeah, eat this meal. Probably will do a meal every 2 hours today, just to get them in early, get to bed early, because body weight, since I've been working till 10:30 at night the first 3 days of this week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, body weight has held a bit. Generally, I can just put that down to like the late sleep. So it's a late going to bed and then late waking up. You know, I'm waking up at like 8, whereas in a normal day, I'd want to be waking up around 7. So I do think once body's back in that normal rhythm, weight will start flying off. Weighed in at 207.8, I want to say today. So that is another 1.2 pounds down so far this week. Obviously with weight being a bit stagnant. I don't want to say stagnant because it has been trickling down, but I do think there is a big drop coming because expenditure has been very high this week. Like I've averaged like 15k steps alongside training, cardio and posing. So yeah, get this meal into me because I keep blabbing on, and I can feel my muscle deteriorating, especially my erectors, due to missing that set. Here we are, different location for this clip. Meal 4 has been eaten. I literally beached up, finished Vinland Saga season 1. Hope you can hear me all right. I have no windbreaker on, but the wind doesn't seem to be too bad. Yeah, finished season 1, Vinland. What a show, by the way. If you want a beginner anime, get on Vinland Saga. But yeah, finished meal 4 there. Didn't record it, but I promise you all, I promise, cross my heart, it was the exact same thing you seen for pre-workout and post-workout. Yes, pre and post-workout. The chicken, rice, banana. The only thing that changed was the 100 grams of veg of choice was tomatoes, cherry tomatoes to be exact. So yeah, one more meal to get in, but I wanted to sort of just come on with the full day of eating. You're not really providing much value, so I did want to just talk about like why I think a meal plan is so important, like no matter what phase you're in. Right, if I apply it to myself first of all in this dieting phase, I think it just removes that decision fatigue of like choosing what meal you're going to have if you're doing like an if it fits your macros approach. Because if you're constantly trying to split micronutrients and macronutrients up through the day, like this meal needs to be 40 protein. I ate a meal before I tracked it, so it's actually got 60 grams of protein, so now I can only have 20 grams in my next meal. Whatever it is, it keeps your brain going constantly. And if you're getting to the depths of a diet where you're very lean, like you might not think it, but that is another stressor. It is a form of fatigue. And my very first diet with Noah, shout out Noah Campbell, absolute weapon now though. When I dieted with him, it was like I ran if it fits your macros. It was my first sort of phase in the bodybuilding space, and it just fried my head. And then once me and him talked it over, we went to a meal plan, things were 10 times easier. Knew what to prep for school, knew what to bring, what to buy, and like how to hit my macros and micros as well, to a high degree of accuracy. It was perfect. And then if we go and apply it to like a gaining phase, it all comes down to actually being able to get the food in. Now, if you are one of those people that highly struggle with appetite, you're going to end up under eating throughout the day and leave yourself with a very big like bolus of calories towards the end of the day, where that's going to be like a 1,000 to 1,500 calorie meal, and that's just not going to be great for digestion. Whereas if you spread, say, 4,000 calories across 5 meals, you know, 800 calories a meal, get that meal planned in, and it is just going to go so much smoother for you. But then there's also like points that can be applied to both phases. Like I always use when I'm setting up clients and we're sort of deciding what nutrient or nutrition approach we're going to be running. I always bring up the likes of fibre. Now, if one day you're doing, you say you're on an if it fits your macros approach, so you're on MyFitnessPal, sticking all your food in for the day. One day you're on potatoes, oats, you know, a lot of veggies. You know, you've went through the berries as well because you've had 2 bowls of oats. So you've nailed 200-300 grams of berries. Your fibre sky high for that day. Now, depending on your body, you as an individual, that could be a good thing for your digestion, or it could be a bad thing. And then if you take it the other way, one day you've nailed two meals of just chicken and rice, no fruit, no veg. Then you've nailed a bowl of cream of rice, cereal. Well, cereal's not too bad for fibre, but you get what I mean. If you're going for your rice base, like carb sources, your fibre intake's going to be minimal. So if a coach is looking at his clients, checking, being like, there's so much disparity between days with how your digestion is going, like that just is all cleared away with a meal plan. But yeah, that is just my 2 cents on that topic, sort of. I know from personal experience, obviously I talked about there, that a meal plan would have made my diet so much easier. It's such a like low effort change that can generally change the course of, you know, your phase, whether that's gaining or dieting. So yeah, I hope that convinces everyone to hop on a meal plan. No, they don't have to be like mine with chicken and rice 3 times a day, but I just find that's what keeps food focus down. And that's another point. Meal plan keeps food focus down, because when you're doing if it fits your macros, you'll have a meal programmed in, unless you're quite disciplined with it and quite strict on it. So many people, and I found myself doing this, like your meal's in, you've got your macros, and then you're like, you know, I'd sort of love a bowl of oats for this last meal. So you go in, change all your food, then the macros don't align for what you want, so you have to take food out of other meals, and it is just a shit show, really. Shit show. But yeah, enough ranting about meal plans. Everyone get on it now, because it's the way forward for you. Yes, boys, blue light blockers are on. That's how you know it is time for the final meal. But first of all, I wanted to show everyone the creamy. I've got Milo here. I make mine in a shaker cup. We'll use this naughty boy one. So yeah, the creamy recipe is 375 mils of, I'm using semi-skimmed milk at the minute because food isn't that low. So there's no need to switch to the red milk. Like I will eventually. That could be a food change in itself. Like literally just swapping the meal plan from semi-skimmed to skimmed, and then maybe a few other calories elsewhere. I need a bit more milk. I need to add 48 mils of milk to that, but I'll run out. I'll get another jug for that. I'll add all the ingredients in first so everyone can see it firsthand. So we have 375 mils of milk there. Then we have xanthan gum. We do like a gram of, oh, it has lost me. The Osmo has lost me. Has it got me? It's got me again. Okay, so 2 grams of salt. You'll notice I don't use sweetener in it. A lot of people, Leo Hamilton, oh by the way, credit Leo, this is Leo's recipe. I made a few tweaks to it because I thought it was too milky, so I upped the way the amount of whey is, grams of whey, and lowered the amount of milk. But this is his recipe, so go follow Leo Hamilton Coaching on Instagram if you love food, because he loves a bit of food as well. So yeah, gram of xanthan gum. Yeah, I don't use any sweetener unlike other people, because I just think there's no need for. I'll actually bring you with me so it doesn't lose me again. I don't feel like there's a need to add it in. You know, it's not these creamies, like, since the ingredients are so basic, they're not the most like sweet, like tasty thing. But it's the fact that like you're having a pint of like mousse that does sort of taste like, imagine like a thicker whey paste, and you've got a pint of it for what this one comes out to 480 calories, because I'm using semi-skim milk. What flavour to go for? It's always the choice. I think we'll go with Naughty Boy salted caramel, elite flavour. I think I used carrot cake earlier on in the day for the meal one whey paste. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Naughty Boy wheys. Like, they are up there with Perform, I would say. Like, I think Perform, you can go with, or you can get bad options with Perform, but most Naughty Boy flavours I've got, they haven't been bad. Like, I haven't got a bad one. I've tried the majority of their range. So 50 grams of Naughty Boy salted caramel whey, and then I will simply add add the 48 mils of milk I needed, shake that up just like you'd be shaking a pre-workout, and pour it into the little creamy jug, freeze that for tomorrow night's rest day final meal, and yeah, that's the creamy. But as I said, it is worth it in my opinion, getting the creamy, just for like a variety in your meals. Like, it is cool to just sit up and eat a pint of ice cream, to like, I do it to a pint of, or to an episode of anime. Like, it's cool in that sense, but they're not the tastiest thing ever. But if you were doing like if it fits your macros approach, you could probably make like an actual unreal one, and just stick it in your macros. But since mine is in a meal plan, I'm not changing it up every day. So yeah, that is the creamy recipe, and once I do this, I will be making the final meal. So yeah, looking forward to that. Well, not really, not even really hungry to be honest, but needs must eat it. And here we are, final meal of the day. I'll flip it over and show everybody. So this is the main course. Then we have a little dessert over here. So here we have 100 grams of sourdough, 2 eggs cooked in 5 grams coconut oil, 100 grams of veg, 3 broccoli, a little bit of salt, a little bit of paprika sprinkled over. Also cook the eggs with a bit of paprika. Banging. Then here we have sort of replica from meal one. It is 35 grams of Perform chocolate mochaccino with unreal flavour, 100 grams of frozen berries, bit of cinnamon on top. And yeah, I do like this meal, to be fair. I like separating my meals into like 2 little bits, because I've got the savoury bit, I'll eat that slowly. And then I've got the dessert. Would have put cinnamon on meal one, but I did forget to. I would also have it my chicken and rice, but since it's around the workout perimeter, I'm not having it, because it's an anti-inflammatory. So we don't want to be doing anything like that. That's what like around the workout window. That's why we don't do like ice baths or saunas within like 4 hours of training. You don't want to blunt that hypertrophy response you're getting after you train. So yeah, this is going in. Also, another little tip, well, maybe not tip, but don't use fry light. I do not think that stuff is good for your gut health at all. Like, maybe in the depths of prep, when you're like absolutely starving and food focus is sky high, maybe, so you can save that extra bit of fat for some dark chocolate or peanut butter. But look at it in the grand scheme of things. Would you rather have 10 grams of dark chocolate to like curb some cravings, or an actual like good profile of essential fatty acids going in per day. Coconut oil is absolutely unreal. And like I'll never switch that out really. I have 20 grams on a rest day and 5 grams on a training day, and I just think it's such a good thing to have in, you know, your coconut oil, avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil. Like don't swap these things for Frylight. Like they're not the same thing. You doing your all of your fats through like 30 grams of dark chocolate and 30 grams of peanut butter a day is far less productive than having a widespread profile of those fatty acids, like your salmons, oils, whatever. Walnuts is a good one. Don't see many people running walnuts, but I run. It's fact all walnuts, but it's like 10 grams on a rest day. But even still, it's better than nothing. So yeah, that is the video, folks. I don't think I'll be recording anything else. The plan is eat this, do a little bit of J3U work. Haven't done too much today for it being my day off, so I'll catch up a little bit on that. Likely watch a few episodes of Vinland, read a bit of manga. That has been the nightcap recently. Vagabond. If you're a manga fan, drop it in the comments. Type Miyamoto. I don't know how to say his name. Miyamoto Musashi. We'll go with that. Type that in the comments if you're a Vagabond fan. Expecting 100 comments of that. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, peeps. Hopefully this will be out on Friday, Saturday night, at latest Sunday. Hopefully get it edited tomorrow and up ASAP. But yeah, first video last week, support was immense. So if we can get somewhat the same of that on this video, it would be greatly appreciated, lads. So yeah, that is all, and thank you for watching.